Is it too late to start playing League of Legends in 2023? Maybe you just finished watching the new series Arcane on Netflix, or you have finally caved in and agreed to try League of Legends with that one annoying but lovable friend. Whatever the reason may be, I'll try to help you decide if starting League of Legends in 2023 is worth it for you. League of Legends has just entered its 13th season, which is pretty dang impressive for a competitive MOBA game. League of Legends came out on October 27, 2009, and has been evolving ever since. To new players, old League is almost unrecognizable. Every year, Riot Games releases new item mechanics, map changes, and several new champions and skins a year. Being one of the most complex competitive games out there, you may be overwhelmed by the amount of flashy spells on their screen, the ocean of champions available to play, or even what the hell to do at any given point in the game. Because, let's be clear, League of Legends is not a very linear or easily digested game for non-committed players. As a new player, people may tend to have so many doubts about getting into a game as complicated as League of Legends. But never fear, I will try to address what I think may be the 5 most common doubts as to if you should start playing League of Legends in 2023. Doubt number 1. You may think that all of these people who have put years into this game will be too far ahead, or you may think that with such a big champion pool, you'll be limited as a new player. In League of Legends, every single game, every single player starts out at the same level, with the same available resources. All items and all runes are available to all players after you complete the beginning tutorial stages of the game. Players that have been playing the game for a longer time really only have access to a wider variety of champions to play. Although veterans of the game and even people that have been playing for a little longer than you may have more game knowledge and better efficiency in gaining resources, each new game is a clean slate with the same resources available to every player. With there being a total of 162 champions as of today, since the recent release of the newest champion Cassante, new players might find it daunting to learn and play the game enough to collect all the champions. I do admit, in order to earn every single champion, you may have to put years into the game, but thankfully, there is a free pool of champions that rotate every single week. With the addition of free loot, such as champion shards and skin shards, players joining now have a much easier time collecting champions compared to when I grinded for all of them. Doubt number 2. If you've finished the tutorial and have a couple of games under your belt, by now I'm sure you may have come across what the community calls Smurfs or Smurf accounts. This basically refers to veteran players making new accounts or simply anyone playing in a significantly lower rank than where they belong. These are players who want to have a lower level account to play with their newer friends, or they are players who have had their main accounts banned for toxicity. Whatever the case, these players aren't trying to stick around in your rank for long, and once you have learnt the basics and have played enough games, matchmaking will be able to pair you with more suitable teammates, and more importantly soon, you might even be able to hold your own against some of those Smurfs. Doubt number 3. You may have heard by now that League of Legends on its surface may have one of the most toxic communities of all competitive games. This game has a mysterious way of making people lose their minds and mental boom. You will constantly come across players that give up and AFK from games. There will be people that may intentionally die to your enemies just to prove a point. You will see some things in chat that you wouldn't even wish upon your worst enemies. A big part of League of Legends though is learning to have fun with it either way, or when push comes to shove, you can utilise one of the most useful mechanics in the whole game, /mute all. If you find that the League of Legends experience is too toxic for you, then you should definitely try to stay away from ranked games, as most of the toxicity will come from there. Now these are only the worst of the worst. You will find that the League of Legends community as a whole is filled with amazing people looking to enjoy the game and improve competitively. Being a 5 versus 5 team game that averages about 25 to 30 minutes per game, you could compare games of League of Legends to practice or even matches of a real sport such as basketball. The competitive nature of League of Legends is why it is #1 most viewed game with 5.1 million live views in the most recent World Finals, and the most played game in the entire world with an active player base of 180 million players. With so many League esports teams to cheer for, and so many big personalities to watch stream on Twitch or YouTube, you will find new content creators to look up and also make strong friendships as you improve along the way. Crazy to say, but I even met my girlfriend of 4 years in a random game of League of Legends. If you've made it this far into the video, please consider liking and commenting below as it really helps with the algorithm, and subscribing for more soon to come new player orientated content. Back to doubt number 4. The games are so much longer than you expected. What do I even do in each stage of the game? I definitely remember being shocked when first playing this game because I have never played a game of this format. With every games averaging about 25 to 35 minutes in length, I definitely remember being intimidated with the commitment, and as a new player, most times, it was almost impossible to know the right thing to do at any given moment in the game. After all, League of Legends cannot be treated as a team deathmatch game where people play for their KDA. It should be treated as a strategy game where you and your team work together to gain as much tempo and experience as they can to ultimately take objectives and eventually the enemy's base. Fundamentally, League of Legends has always been one of the hardest games to play well. Although the tutorial will teach you all of the basics on moving, attacking, casting spells, capturing objectives and ending the game really fails to teach you the nuances of when to fight, what items to build, what runes to take before the start of each game, or how to work together to choose a viable, well-balanced team. With this in mind, this season, Riot Games implemented a surprisingly very accurate auto rune page, which lets you choose from 3 of the most popular rune pages for 3 different playstyles with that champion. It took me almost 3 years to fully understand how to optimally use runes for each champion, and would have to pull up a guide before the start of every single game, but new players now have the luxury of simply picking from 3 viable options. On top of the 162 champions currently in League of Legends, players will have to learn to choose from a vast item pool to best optimize themselves to win the game. Most champions will have more or less a standard build path, but there are several situational items and instances where an item may not be as useful against the enemy's team composition, or in synergy with your own team's comp. For instance, choosing a Rammus and building a full armor items against a full magic damage team is definitely not the best idea, and some people could even see that as a reportable offense. Over the years, League of Legends has significantly improved the shop UI and have even added a suggested items page to help you decide which items may be the best fit for your game. Each item in the tab will give you a short description of why the item may be good, and will show you who the items will be good against. Being able to stress less about runes and items, and with simple changes such as the ability to show optimal jungle paths for jungle players, Riot Games has really made it easy for new players to focus on improving the in-game aspects of their game. Doubt number 5. It takes a very long time to improve at the game, but I promise that you will see gradual improvement, and as you play more games, things that you had to focus on very hard will quickly become more like muscle memory to you, such as farming or last-hitting minions. Most people play with the intent of improving themselves and climbing rank. You will find that League of Legends is a forever evolving game, and you will always have things to strive to improve on. There are so many different streamers to watch to improve, and there is also so much informational content on YouTube to help you on your League of Legends journey. To find a streamer that you vibe with, or a streamer that may play the same champion or lane as you do, you can check out YouTube channels such as Synapse to enjoy daily compilations of the most popular personalities' best clips of the day. This can help you drastically improve your game knowledge and help you familiarize yourself with all the different champions' abilities and combos. League of Legends has been going on 13 plus years strong and has no signs of slowing down at any time. I really think that you should stick with it and give League of Legends a real shot. It is free after all. Although you may hear so many people complain about League of Legends, it is actually a really fun and addictive game that you can't get away from, no matter how many keyboards and monitors this game makes you break. Truly anyone can get started with this game, so grab a group of friends to play together, as playing with friends will significantly enhance your time. Just like many other people, I have 300 Steam games, but only find myself ever playing League of Legends. To start off your League journey in the best way possible, and to surround yourself with the best people and the best content, please consider subscribing to my channel. A simple thumbs up helps so much, and let me know in the comments about any other doubts you may have had in the chat below. The funniest comment about their new player experience will be pinned to this video below. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you someday on the Rift.